Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm your host, Ricky. With me, as always, is Dennis.
What's up?
This is, did I already say episode number 143? Episode 143, talking about 2010's Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass.
A 14-year-old movie.
It is a 14-year-old movie, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this one later, but we have a really weird thing that we're doing for the show. I think we're just kind of like in a fun mood and we're getting ready because Comic-Con's next week. We're gonna do a lot of cool stuff, and so I just had a lot of fun with the game that I threw at you last week. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm still making a bingo card for you. You're gonna have that when you're watching the movie. You're gonna have a bingo card to remind you how pissed you're going to be at that movie that you're watching and enjoying.
When we're watching the movie.
Yes, when we are. But I'm saying I want you to remember how pissed you should be as you're watching that movie.
Okay.
Because of all your predictions. But yeah, so I decided based on the suggestion of our lovely guest, which we can bring her out right now, it's Lindsay.
Super producer Lindsay. Welcome to the show. Welcome back.
Yay, we're doing cool stuff today. Thanks. It's been a while.
So Lindsay is a big fan of the games of the show. Like she likes, that's her favorite part of the show. The off special occasions when I create games for the guests. And this week just happened to be Lindsay's birthday, and she said, "I will go on your show if you do no news, no chit chat, and you just play 30 minutes of games,
raw games,
and then."
Immediately.
I will happily let you guys talk about Kick-Ass, which I will also watch. So she did watch Kick-Ass this week with me.
Yes, I like Kick-Ass.
We watched it and we will talk about it. She will probably be drawing on her Wacom tablet, like fun pictures from Kick-Ass while we talk about it, and she might chime in. But we can't do that until we give her 30 minutes of games. So
yes.
Feel free, since we're live, everybody in the audience is welcome to chime in on your answers, your responses, whatever. But I have created my opus, my magnum opus of games.
I can't wait.
And I hope you guys enjoy them. Ricky, I think you should just do the button for the games. It's been so long since we did.
Oh my god, I forgot we had the button.
We have a button. We do.
I actually don't have a button anymore. We don't have a button anymore.
We do. We have a button for it.
You might have a button.
Oh, no. You know what? We got rid of that button.
Games are happening. Games.
Pretend the thing happened. Yeah.
I'll draw it live.
Cool.
Games.
We're doing it live. All right, guys. I prepared for you 3 games for this evening. The first game is going to be a little bit in celebration of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is we're like 7 days away from 6 days away. From
like
that.
6 days. 6
days away from that one. We're calling this one Second Guessing Pouches. That's so this icon. The graphics are a little different on my screen than from what I'm looking at over here on the left. That's odd. Anyways, got a little clock there. Got a little picture of Rob Liefeld. I think Rob Liefeld is famous for 2 things. Really 3. I'll share the third one at the end of this, but the first 2 are terrible at drawing human anatomy, especially feet. Second, when in doubt, draw pouches. This guy is notorious for adding pouches when they don't need to be there. So what we've decided to do, this was actually Lindsay's suggestion. What we're going to do is, it's an approximation, by the way. I'm going to show you a picture for about 1 second, and then I'm going to take that picture away, and then you guys have to tell me how many pouches you saw in that picture.
Okay.
Man.
We're playing.
Wait, how many visible pouches or how many pouches do we think they have?
Visible, right?
I think, okay, so let me make that clear. If they have like pouches that wrap around the back of their leg and you can't see it in the picture, they don't count if they're not if they're not physically drawn.
Got it.
So we're talking
No
about
implied pouch.
no implied pouches, just pouches
Okay.
drawn. If
Concrete pouch
if
only.
the edge of a pouch is drawn, like at the edge of a circle, it still counts.
I'm
But
counting those half pouches. I don't care.
Yeah, half pouches count. But I'm saying you guys are.
If it has a zipper, is it still a pouch?
I don't think it's a zipper pouch, but there might be weird techie pouches. He gets a little experimental sometimes with his pouch. I'm gonna preempt by telling you guys all of my answers have a big question mark on them because I counted them as best as I could. But so we're playing Price is Right rules, all right? As long as you guys get closest to my number without going over.
Ooh, okay.
Whoever gets closest wins. All right.
All right.
Deal.
Here we go. You ready? Here goes the first one.
Yep.
1. All right, guys. That was a picture of Deadpool.
But that was not a second.
I said 1.
That was not a second. That's okay. That's okay.
All right.
Do we have an order, or are we just shouting it?
Next time I'll do 1,000. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
7.
Lindsay, you're the special guest, so you get to go first.
7.
Okay. All right.
I guess 9.
You guessed 9. Right.
I think it's less than 10, but I don't think it's more than 10.
Okay. The correct answer is 16.
Wow. 16?
Wait. On Deadpool? Or
No.
you're counting the people behind?
On the picture, he actually went to the trouble. These are all drawn by Rob Liefeld, by the way.
Bro, I can't see those little guys.
Bro, he actually went to the picture or to the trouble of drawing pouches on the characters in the background. There's Cable back there in the background.
What?
There's another
That's I call BS.
I can't see that.
Hey,
I can't see any of the back. So how many are in Deadpool? 1, 2, 3, 6,
7.
7. And
no, 7.
Okay. I thought it was 6 on the belt and 1 on the leg, but that's okay.
Yeah, I thought there was a leg one.
Sometimes there is. This picture not. This is actually one of the nicer Liefeld drawings I've seen him do.
So counting the non-invisible pouches that I cannot see even when zooming in, I win because I went closest without going over.
Ricky,
9. I guess 9, right?
Ricky wins that one. All right, he wins that one. You just got to deal with it. It's okay. It's all right. They'll only get harder from here.
Invisible pouches. Jeez.
They're only going to get harder. Don't worry. If you want, we can make them bigger. We can switch the view to. How about that? Does that help? That covers pouches.
That does not help.
That's going to cover pouches.
I'm just gonna hope that you didn't do ridiculousness like that, but I'm not.
No, Rob Liefeld did ridiculousness. But here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
1,000.
Oh God.
That was a picture of good old Cable, by the way.
I mean, I counted 4, and I'm assuming that there are hidden secret pouches. So I'm just gonna add like 3 and say 7.
16.
85.
What's your final answer, Lindsay?
7.
Okay, Ricky, what's your final answer?
16.
There were at least 25 pouches.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh, you're showing the wrong one.
Sorry, I did. My bad. There you go. It was 25.
Oh my God, I can't even tell some of these are pouches.
And they're all. I didn't do a weird cheat on this one.
Yeah, no weird cheats on this one.
Someone ever does like a pouch accurate cosplay of Cable?
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Oh man, I need to search that right now.
This is 25 at least pictures, drawings that he did of pouches on this band.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it? Are you liking this game?
How does he remember?
Yes.
This is a better one. This one was more fair, right? This one.
Yes, this one's acceptable.
All right, here we go. Ricky's winning 2-0 so far.
All right.
Ready? You got a sneak peek already. 1,000.
God.
That was a picture of Deadpool, Domino, and Shatterstar all in the same cover of X-Force number 11.
Deadpool and Domino are not pouch people, but Shatterstar, his whole thing is pouches.
That was a lot of pouches that I couldn't even take these pouches in. This is like a psychological thing.
Like whatever number I see, I just multiply it by like 6.
Oh,
I feel like that's a safe bet.
That's a good bet.
That's a good bet. Yeah, because your brain can really only take in so many pouches at once. So
I'm glad you're
All right,
enjoying
so
it.
I saw 4, and by Ricky's rules, that would give 24. So I'll guess 24.
I saw 6, so I'm gonna do 36.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I am gonna say you guys were both over, but
Dang. All right, so we both busted out.
you did. I think you both busted according to Prices Right, right?
Yeah.
This time around there were 14.
14. All right.
At least I couldn't decide if there was one on Shatterstar down underneath Domino's leg. It looks kind of pouchy, but there I counted none on Shatterstar other than that one weird one. They're all on Domino and Deadpool. They got a lot. They got a lot. So your assessment of Deadpool and Domino not being pouch people, very
They're
inaccurate.
not.
They are very pouchy in Rob Liefeld's creations. These are all his creations. Shatterstar is the least pouchy of those characters. But all right, you're still 2-0 on this one. You ready? You ready? Here we go. 1,000.
What was that?
That was a picture of Warchild,
16.
From Maximum Press. That is a Rob Liefeld drawing as well.
22.
Final answers?
Yes.
22.
All right. We got a point for Lindsay here. I counted 18 on this guy. There are straps which are deceptive down there on the legs.
He just looks like Shatterstar.
Yeah, of course he does, because this is Rob Liefeld. Yes.
Wait, that's a pouch, right? Is it on the left leg?
The left leg, those are straps. Those are straps. The right leg, these are pouches for sure.
I see a button.
Those are pouches. Those are for sure pouches. And on the left, both of these legs, those are pouches.
No, these are straps. These are straps like Cyclops's leg straps. I promise. I promise.
I don't know. I started drawing in this era, and a lot of my characters had pouches, so I'm very familiar with pouch indicators.
the left side straps. I promise. It's fine. If you guys want to give it to Ricky, that's fine. I counted 18 on this guy.
I think he has wrist pouches too.
No, the wrist straps.
They're wrist pouches. Those are all pouches, dude.
They're not pouches. You can tell the difference.
I'll give it to myself because I'm losing.
So generous.
The wrist pouches, they're not wrist pouches, they're straps. They're wrist straps. You can tell they're straps. But if you want to give it, I'm giving it to Lindsay. Okay. I'm giving this one. So you guys are dead even. You ready to go? Warchild. I don't know nothing about this, but Rob Liefeld draws it the same as every character he's ever drawn. So props to him. Here we go, guys. 1,000.
Oh my god. That was because all I saw were the bullets.
Yeah, there's like a big dude. Do you count the bullets as pouches?
All I saw were the bullets.
I don't count the bullets as pouches, but I like that you guys all went there first.
That's all I saw.
37.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna say.
You know the best part is these are all acceptable answers.
18.
Rob Liefeld is so ridiculous. Final answer. All right, here we go. All right, so I have it's somewhere between 14 to 18. Surprisingly, this girl in the brown has no pouches on her at all. And neither does the guy on the left with the stick. I think he's got no pouches, and neither does the small green guy. I don't remember these characters' names. So there's already 3 characters on this page that don't have pouches, weirdly. Now the question becomes, what do you think about the guy on the very right, that leg? Those are some very futuristic looking pouches, if they're pouches.
The red things?
Yeah. Are they pouches?
Those are pouches, yeah.
Those are pouches.
All right, then the answer is 18. The answer is 18 then.
So I got it exactly.
Yeah, good job. That's pretty good.
That was completely random.
I know. Of course it was. Okay, you ready? You ready for the final one, guys?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is by the way, a picture of the team he created for Image Comics called Young Blood.
Nice.
I don't remember anything about these characters. All right, next one. Here we go. Final picture. 1,000.
Oh, that was Pouch Man.
That was Pouch. 48. No, 42. 42.
I don't think he has that many visible. I'm gonna say 17.
42.
So you guys are familiar with the pouch.
Yes.
Yes.
So I said there's three things about Rob Liefeld. One being the horrible anatomy, two being pouches. The third being actually he's got a great sense of humor. He knows that people make fun of him, and one day he created the pouch.
Yeah.
I
It's on the
counted
guns too.
I counted 53 on the pouch here. 53.
Wait, on the gun, you're counting the pouches?
Those are pouches. The
Pouches,
gun,
look
the
at
gun
that.
is
Oh
the gun
my
is made of
God.
pouches. The gun is fully made of pouches. The swords on his back are made of pouches, dude.
To be fair, I was just calculating pouch density because I know this character. I know he's completely made of pouches. Like every aspect of him is pouches.
I didn't know this character. Props to
You
you
didn't know
guys for
Pouch?
knowing. No, I didn't know the pouch, but he's pretty awesome looking. I was pretty happy with him. Every finger is a pouch.
Call yourself a pouch lover.
Yeah, I kind of want a pouch comic now.
I mean,
I would wear way more stuff with pouches if I had them. Like honestly,
nice.
I
All
love
right.
pouches.
So now you know what to get Lindsay for her birthday.
Pouches.
Pouches. All right, guys.
Next
How'd you like that game? Was that good?
Excellent.
That's pretty good.
All
That
right.
was excellent. I could have used a little longer. I'm not gonna lie.
By the way, Lindsay,
Maybe like 2 or 3 seconds.
Ricky, the original pitch for this game was from Lindsay. She says, 1 second pouches. I want you to show people 1 second, and then they have to figure out how many pouches. So that was 100% Lindsay's idea. I take no credit for that game at all, but I did enjoy making it for you guys.
Hooray!
I didn't enjoy counting all the pouches, though. That was a lot of work.
That's a time
it's hard.
sink.
That was a time
Hard.
sink. That one, I'm glad I got that one out of the way because that was the hardest one for me to prepare for. All right, second game.
By the way, there are pouch accurate Cable cosplayers, but I couldn't find any of their names, which was pretty annoying.
All right, cool. Here we go,
But
guys.
they have a lot of pouches on them. Just saying.
You got to show them to us later.
Yeah.
Next up, in honor of, I don't know if you know this, Ricky, Kite Man, hell yeah, is on HBO or on Max as of yesterday.
Oh yeah, that show we were watching.
I watched it. Lindsay watched it. We watched the first 2 episodes came out yesterday. It's more
Stephanie Sue's
it's more Harley Quinn. It's more of that stuff. Just it's now the focus is on Kite Man and more ridiculous villains like the Golden Glider. Bane is a main character on the show. Lex Luthor. Sadly, they did not get Giancarlo Esposito this time.
I saw that. It's a different guy.
It's Lance Reddick, which is rough.
Sneaking news in here.
Oh.
This is like going against our agreement.
No,
You're sneaking news in.
But my point is, this show is a celebration of the weird in DC, like the weirdest villains ever. So I came up with a game that's horribly written over there on the left called Who Dat Clown. And I'm basically going to show you some DC characters, some villains, DC villains. You've kind of played a version of this game before. I'm going to give you 4 or 5 names, I think. 5 names that 4 of which I came up with. One of which is the real character's name, and you guys got to guess it. All right.
Is it their name or their like villain name?
Their villain name. Sorry,
Okay.
Their villain name. All right. I'm not putting like their real name unless their villain name is their real name. You know what I mean? Like in some cases, that's the same thing, I guess. All right. Here we go. No time limit on this one.
Let's go.
Here's the first one. This very colorful character.
Easy.
Is either A, Mosaic Man, B, Crazy Quilt, C, Kaleidoscope, D, The Painter, or E, The Colored Man.
I'm going to go with E because I don't think you would have made that up. That's very unfortunate.
I do think you made that. It's got to be Kaleidoscope.
All right. So I got the Colored Man.
Honorable mention for A.
Mosaic Man's pretty good.
Mosaic Man. All right. So you're going with Kaleidoscope for Ricky and the Colored Man for Lindsay.
Yeah, you guys stop saying
Correct.
that.
I'm
saying it.
I'm only repeating what's written on the screen, guys. Okay.
Well, you only repeating what you wrote on the screen.
I mean, not if it's his name, then it's the.
All right, reveal. It
All right,
better
here
be.
we go, guys. The answer is Crazy Quilt.
Oh, it's not E.
His real name is Paul Decker. Actually, that wasn't his name back in the day when he was originally created in Boy Commandos number 15 on June 1946 by Jack Kirby. Yeah, sorry, I did write that awkward one, but only because I thought it was believable, which I guess it was, because you did believe it and you guessed it. You guessed it. You can't say no, it wasn't believable if you guessed it.
All right.
Hey, I did mean to do something before we started this one. A little disclaimer for the rest of this game. Look, comics have been around almost 100 years now. There are some really inappropriate things that have occurred throughout the history of comics, just like the history of the world. So, hey, apologies if some of these images may look offensive or some of the names may seem offensive.
You say that as if you didn't write the
I
name.
know, as the curator,
I didn't necessarily write the most inappropriate names on this
You're
list.
the curator.
We'll be the judge of that.
All right.
Who have responsibility for what is shown here. But
I'm not saying I don't take responsibility for creating this game. I'm just letting you know, hey, trigger warning, okay? Next up, so neither of you got that one right. Here you go. This guy has a beautiful weapon attached to his junk. And the possible names are A, Scarlett Johnson, B, Red Rocket, C, Strap-On, D, Dingaling, or E, Codpiece. Most recently seen in yesterday's second episode of Kite Man.
E.
I'm gonna go B.
Okay, Ricky's going with Red Rocket, and Lindsay is going with Codpiece.
I feel probably is Codpiece though.
Are you changing your answer?
Oh, no, it's B.
All right, here we go. Locked in. The answer is Codpiece.
Woo!
Wow, 1993.
Doom Patrol.
1993, cool. Doom Patrol number 70, created by Rachel Pollack and Scott Eaton.
I could make that.
That's pretty recent.
I think we've all made that character before. Good job, guys.
Well, I mean,
good job,
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Not in that way, but
Ricky, you doubted yourself, and in that moment, you almost had the right answer. All right, here we go. Lindsay's up 1-0 right now. Here we go. This is a crazy looking character with
B.
all kinds of stuff going on. He's either A, Metamorpho, B, Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man, C, Freakazoic, D, Weapon Rex, or E, Molecular Man.
B.
Lindsay's going with Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man.
B.
Freakazoic, C.
All right, here we go. And Lindsay's up 2-0.
What?
This is Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man. Also appeared in Doom Patrol, and he's actually been on the TV show.
Yeah, that's why I knew.
Created by Arnold Drake and Bruno Premiani.
Show's pretty good. If you haven't seen it, I like it.
Show. It's a great show.
I enjoy it. It has a lot of butts. A lot.
It does have a lot of butts. All right, here we go, guys. This is a giant blue armored looking guy in a field of snow, and snowballs are everywhere. It says, a day to celebrate shackling yourself to someone else's shallow opinions. It's insulting. I couldn't help. I had to keep the quote in there. Sorry. Your options are A, Blue Snowman, B, Dr. Frosty with a PH, C, Blue Steel, D, Tungsten Man, or E, the Abominable Snowbot.
D. Honorable mention to E.
I'm gonna go D as well. Tungsten Man.
Blue Steel is the name of Zoolander's. Like
that is Zoolander's thing.
His thing.
His look.
All right, you guys are both going with D, Tungsten Man.
Yes.
The answer is Blue Snowman.
Wow.
And here's the twist. Here's the twist. The character inside this armor is actually a woman named Byrna Brilliant. And created by Joy Hummel and Harry G. Peter in 1946.
Ooh, created by a woman in 1946.
I know, right? I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joy
And it is,
Hummel. Unless
and it
it's
is,
a man, I guess that's
and
possible.
it is a female character in that suit too.
Oh, yes, she's a woman.
The character tries to like circumvent or go against expectations by presenting herself as a man when she does villainous crimes and stuff.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I kind of loved this character as I was reading about it. So there you go.
She is the first woman to write Wonder Woman. She ghost wrote more than 70 Wonder Woman stories, and she died at 97.
Wow. There you go. It's cool. We just got some
2021.
extra. Look at Lindsay sharing trivia when we're supposed to be just playing a game.
That sounds like news.
I know, that sounded like news right there. Especially if she died recently, like yesterday or something like that. It's really weird.
No.
All right, guys. Again, remember your trigger warning. Here we go, guys. And I'm not going to read the quote in there.
Oh,
You're
no.
welcome to. I would not read it out loud if I were you.
Please don't read the names either.
This, you don't want me to read the names.
No. We'll just look at them.
Okay, you can look at them and you can decide which name this character is.
D.
I think it's D.
Do not read aloud the names.
Well, the name you read was Egg Foo, and that is correct, guys. But I just wanted to show you that they have done some serious retconning of this character.
As they should.
Where's this from?
This is a much newer comic featuring Egg Foo.
This looks like a game.
No, it's a comic.
I would like to note this character was made by 2 men.
It was made by 2 men, and it was created in Wonder Woman comic in 1965, and it is incredibly racist back then, and it's only slightly less so now, I guess. This isn't even the most recent version of the character. He now just looks like a straight up egg, but he's a very MODOK-y he presents very MODOK-y nowadays. So I think that was the last of this game. I don't know how you felt about that one, but I think Lindsay beat you on that one again, Ricky. So it's time to move on to the third game. Do you have any notes for that last one? Less racist stuff, maybe?
Less racist notes.
Yeah, I'm happy that I didn't win the racist game.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that I won that one and that we exposed everyone to all of those microaggressions. Sorry, folks.
It's an awkward part of the history of comic books.
Don't cosplay any of those characters.
Okay, last one. We're on a more uplifting note, a more fun one. I wanted to pit a little bit of DC versus Marvel. There's a lot, like we just got done talking about, that awkward character that in more recent comics has been presented as a straight up MODOK. He rides around in a little MODOK vehicle and everything like that. And what's funny is if you actually start looking at the DC and Marvel universes, there's a lot of overlap or a lot of ripoffs or parodies or whatever you want to call it. So in this case, I showed Deathstroke and Deadpool. We all know, I think we all know that Deadpool is a hilarious parody of Deathstroke that just happens to be way more popular than Deathstroke. So and he beats him by 10 years in his origin. So for Origin Glory, I'm going to be showing you a DC character and a Marvel character. And all you got to do is tell me which one came first. That's it. It's as easy as that. You ready?
Ready.
No racist ones in here, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, none of them. All right, here we go, guys. First up, we got Aquaman and we got Namor.
Wait, how are we saying which one came first? Are we just saying the name?
Yeah, you can say the name. I got the names up there.
Okay.
Go Lindsay.
Namor.
That dude's old as fuck.
That dude is old as fuck.
That dude fought in World War II.
Namor.
He did. He fought in World War II, but he existed in 1939, October. He predates Aquaman by 2 full years. So there you go. And
he's looking a little like Dream of the Endless there.
He does look a little bit like Dream from Sandman, right? Yeah.
I kind of miss the weird forehead Namor.
Weird forehead Namor.
Yeah, how he used to be drawn back.
He looked like Hammerhead.
Yeah, he kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
I
all right,
don't know mine no more.
let's move on. That's the old pictures of Newmar. What I love about this game is I curated pictures that are modern, so you can't really tell based on the picture. You know what I mean? So here you go. Next up, Green Arrow and Hawkeye.
Ooh.
I love that Green Arrow picture. That thing is awesome looking, by the way.
I think green. No.
I think
Green Arrow. Yeah, I think Green Arrow is first. I think.
All right.
I
They
feel
made him look
very
like Robin Hood. He looked dumb.
Yeah, I feel very unconfident about this one, but
All right, here we go, guys. Here we go.
Yeah.
Green Arrow beats
Yay!
Hawkeye by a lot. By
A
13
lot, wow.
by 13 years. Or wait, no, 23 years. Sorry, 23 years. Yes, 23 years.
Which most iconic actor who played the character is younger though?
I mean, the actor who plays
Jeremy
Green
Renner's
Arrow
pretty old.
is younger.
Jeremy
by a lot.
Renner is older, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy
Okay.
Renner is older for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was even older when he started playing Hawkeye than Stephen Amell was when he ended playing Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant
yeah.
their release date as humans.
Oh, their release date as humans.
Yes.
I think Hawkeye made it to the movies before Arrow got a show. I think.
No.
No? I could be wrong.
No, Arrow got a show first, but I meant the anyway. Moving on.
Here we go. Silver Banshee and Banshee.
Do these things do the same thing?
They do Banshee screams and stuff. Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna go with Silver.
They don't completely do this. They do different things a little bit.
I'm gonna say Banshee.
They both fly around.
I think Ricky's probably right on this one, but I'm gonna go Silver Banshee anyway.
All right, cool. Silver Banshee is a Superman villain, so it's not a bad guess. Banshee is a famous X-Man. But here we go. Silver Banshee is actually created in 1987, 20 years after Banshee. Yeah,
I like this art though.
So are you guys tied up on this one? Or no, you're not. No, Ricky's winning. Ricky's winning because you guessed the same so far until this one, right? Yeah, Ricky's winning so far. Here you go. Next up, the Red Tornado and the Vision.
Oh.
Red Tornado, I think.
Yeah. By the way, they're totally like almost the same character. It's funny.
Red Tornado.
They look so similar.
The Red Tornado is like he's like Detective Comics all the way back there, right?
Where is he? Is he in like Coney Island or something?
I don't know. I couldn't tell where he is.
Where is he from? Is he from New York? I guess no one's from New York and DC. Never mind.
I think there's characters from New York and DC. But here you go, guys. Here's the answer. By 8 years, 1960. He's not as old as you thought, Ricky. He's from 1960, and Vision is from 1968. So yeah, good job, guys. You got that one right. Next up, here you go. You got DC's got Bumblebee, and Marvel's got Wasp.
Oh, that's easy. Wasp. Yeah.
Oh, geez, fine, guys. It's almost like I don't even want to try anymore.
I know.
June 1963 is Wasp. December 1976 is Bumblebee from the Teen Titans. All right, next.
Cool though. I like her.
Yeah, they're both cool. They're doing the same thing. They're doing exactly the same thing, honestly. Here you go. You got Darkseid and you got Thanos.
Darkseid.
Yeah, Darkseid.
Darkseid beats Thanos by 3 years.
Only 3 years. Wow.
1970 and 1973.
Thanos, what's up with those skulls, bro? Dang.
That's how he rolls. He stands on a lot of skulls.
That's messed up.
All right.
How did he get all those though? Because he snapped and everyone like disappeared. So did he just go and like collect
for
them?
death.
Maybe he snapped again to deliver all the to all those skulls. He just wanted all the
Rude.
skulls. All right. Next up. I think it's your final question, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. The Justice League of America and the Avengers.
JLA.
Do we throw in the JSA?
No, we're not throwing in the JSA because the JSA didn't have those characters in it.
Avengers.
Lindsay's going with Justice League, and Ricky's going with the Avengers. Here we go. Lindsay wins by 3 years.
Well, that means we're tied.
Surprisingly, only but if you look
So
at
Ricky won pouch game, I won racist game, and then we're tied for the last game. That's pretty good.
I thought you won pouch game.
No, Ricky won.
No, you won pouch
Ricky
game.
won pouch game.
You won pouch game. Ricky did some seriously inflated guesses on some of those numbers.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Yay, me. It's my birthday.
And there you go, guys. I have fulfilled the promise of 30 minutes of games.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. What was your favorite one?
I loved it. I liked the pouch game the most. And then secondly, I liked the one that we just played. The title was excellent.
Okay.
I would have liked the second one except for the racism. But great job. I loved it.
All right. Thanks so much. What about you, Ricky? The same.
I think I like that same order.
Yeah.
That's a safe order.
The pouch game is pretty fun.
Pouch game is fun.
Yeah, it's because I think the pouch game is so insane that I don't even know the final answer for sure. All I know is who got closer to the count that I did. That's it.
Yeah, that was nuts.
All right. I think are we good? Are we good on games now? We can now move on.
I think we're gamed up.
All right.
Yeah, cool. We are game. That was perfect. Excellent.
Nice. Ricky, do you have something over there that I noticed you have something?
I had a little game, but I don't know if I want to play the game. My game's not as good as your games.
I kind of want your game if you have a game.
Yeah, do it.
All right. Well, this is the game I call Guess That Piece. I am going to throw up a random Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure piece.
Ooh.
And you got to tell me what it's from or who it's from.
Oh, this is very unfair.
Yeah. This is
very unfair. It gets pretty hard.
We'll go through them fast.
Okay. First up,
that is a Sentinel from the very old school Toy Biz Marvel Legends.
That one. What he said.
Well, he said correct. That is a Toy Biz X-Men Sentinel from 2005.
Oh man, that Sentinel looks bad by comparison.
He has a cool stance.
He hasn't aged well though.
I like his sassy hip bump though.
Yeah.
Whoever posed him.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Let's keep it going.
Ooh. All right.
I'm gonna guess that's a Super Scroll leg.
I don't know.
Purple Foot is a Marvel Legends Super Scroll from 2019. That's pretty good.
Wow.
All right, they do ramp up here. Oh.
Well, okay, that's Marvel Legends Rintra.
Yeah.
Hooray. I know who he is. It's that guy that you have that you took a picture of with Daisy. Right? Or no. No, it's the dragon?
No,
it's not the guy I just said because I don't think he's green.
No. Sauron is green, but Sauron is his arms are the wings. Mm-hmm. So I think this is Fing Fang Foom.
But is he a bath?
No, but
he's not a bath, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Fing Fang Foom is a bath. Fing Fang Foom is a bath. Yeah.
All right.
He's the biggest bath ever. Yeah.
He said Fing Fang Foom.
Fin Fang Foom. I almost said Nihilus.
2006's Marvel Legends
Nihilus, but I was misremembering him as having pink wings. But yeah, I almost did because it was the tatteredness of them that didn't feel like Fing Fang Foom. But I just thought maybe your color was off because he's a lot brighter green. But sure. I got it wrong. He was my second guess, but I screwed
my bad.
It.
Well,
was that it?
Yeah, 2 for 3 is pretty good.
That was good too. I learned things. I don't know who Annihilus is.
I
don't know who Annihilus is either.
He's hopefully in the Fantastic Four movie. That's.
Is he a bug?
He's kind of a bug. Yeah.
Okay.
He's from the negative zone. All right, there you got a bonus game there, Lindsay. It wasn't a very good game for you though. That was a rough game for Lindsay, but yes. Cool. All right, now we can do the thing, right?
Let's do it.
Okay, I have.
Dennis is huge.
I know. Would you rather have your art going up while you draw, Or no?
Sure. I
Okay.
did a games panel, but you guys didn't use it.
I'm sorry. I didn't see that it was a
Okay.
games panel.
It's okay.
Well, we are here to talk about Hey Girl. I mean, you take it away, Ricky.
Hey Girl. We're here to talk about Kick-Ass.
Okay, we can talk about Kick-Ass also, but I like Hey Girl the most.
Oh.
All right. That's
Don't
all.
we all?
Yeah.
Kick-Ass 2000 came out in 2010. Is directed by Matthew Vaughn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, but I think he was Aaron Johnson at that point in time.
Was he?
Chloe, he wasn't married. He's like a teenager, right? Was he married?
No, that's his full name is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I thought he took on his wife's name. That's the whole thing.
I think he's Aaron Taylor Johnson in that movie.
I have no clue.
Chloe Grace Moretz and Nick Cage and Christopher Mintz, right?
Yes.
And Mark Strong.
Christopher Mintz Plus, I believe is what his name is.
And Mark Strong. Dennis last week informed me. Apparently, this is technically a Marvel comic, which is I found kind of funny that we kind of loop back around.
Yes. Oh no, sorry. His name was Aaron Johnson back then. The Taylor is the
it's from his wife.
His wife's name. Yes. So he was Aaron Johnson back then. Yes. The awkward thing you forgot to mention also, Evan Peters is in this movie.
Yes.
There are 2 straight up Quicksilvers in this movie, and it's really hilarious. Also, Lindsay Fonseca from How I Met Your Mother. Some other notable ones. I'm trying to remember who else is in this movie. It was, I think, the weirdest thing about this movie. So Lindsay was kind of down to do this because we actually both read the comic back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember shortly after that, reading that comic, that movie was already being announced at like Comic-Con and stuff like that. And what was really funny about that is I did some reading on it and I found out, because I do remember that Mark Miller, who wrote this comic, he had a really good track record of getting his stories made into movies fast. But this one, Kick-Ass, is technically the fastest of all because he actually sold the story to to Matt Vaughn and his writer Jane Goodman before he even wrote the comic.
That's a pretty baller move.
It is a baller move. So what happened was that he gave them all the main story beats of the comic, and then they went and wrote the movie while he concurrently wrote the comic. And so when you get differences in between the two, it's because 2 different people were writing it at the same time. And it's
crazy.
Pretty,
I didn't realize that actually.
Isn't that nuts? Like
that's wild. I just realized my mic's probably not near my mouth.
Yeah. Sorry. No, it's pretty good.
Okay.
So I think that like it makes a weird situation where like when I watched the movie, I was just like, well, I read the comic because the comic technically came out first because it was faster to print the comic than it is to make the movie, you know what I mean? But so I was from that snobby point of view of like, oh well, it's different from the comic in this way, and this. But having reread this read this information and learning about that, now I really can't like knock either one for its differences, you know, because like it's pretty
they're their own like things.
Yeah, they're their own things.
Their own thing.
They definitely have the same DNA for sure, and the story for the most part stays the same, but the big difference is the comic chooses to be way darker, way grittier, and somehow way more, I want to say realistic, but in a weird way where like, you know, like Mark Miller just loves to shock the crap out of people. Like he really does. Like, so just as a reminder, this is the guy who wrote Wanted. And he also wrote The Kingsman, which is the next movie that he and Matt Vaughn would do together after this. He also wrote The Ultimates, which is kind of the inspiration for the Avengers movies. Like in fact, the Sam Jackson as Nick Fury comes straight from Mark Miller's Avengers book. So, you know, people in the mid or the early 2000s were eating up everything Mark Miller was writing and immediately adapting it, sometimes poorly, sometimes pretty accurately. but they were putting it right on screen.
Well, the pipeline too to Matthew Vaughn is like crazy.
Right.
He was on a hot streak for like for a minute because he did this, then First Class, and then I believe into Kingsman, right? Yeah,
he did Kingsman because he was supposed to direct Days of Future Past, but then Bryan Singer stepped in to do that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he did Kingsman, and then he did like 2 other Kingsman movies, and then he did I don't think he didn't direct Kick-Ass 2, right?
That's a good question. I know he did Argyle.
Oh yeah, that's true. He did Argyle. But you're the one who picked this movie, and because you remember watching it as what were you, a teenager when you watched this one?
Oh yeah, I was a sophomore in high school when this movie came out.
Ooh.
So I'm just kind of curious, like, how did it feel back then watching this movie, and how did it feel now watching this movie?
Movie's really cool. I loved it because it was a high school movie with a high school kid, and I want to see it through that lens. Watching this now, I think it is still a pretty awesome movie. It is, I think, one of the best Nick Cage performances.
It's pretty good.
And it also reminds me of the dumb shit I would do and say when I was in high school and how times have changed.
Fair enough. So you consider it pretty relatable.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. For me, watching this movie, like, I mean, you got to remember this movie came out after we'd already gotten Iron Man and Dark Knight and probably even Iron Man 2.
It's
right?
that kind of Goldilocks zone, right? So it's pre Avengers, post Iron Man, or yeah.
They struck while the iron was hot, and I think they nailed it. Like, in this movie found a way to be like its own thing and still be a superhero movie. You know what I mean? Like,
I really don't remember like the visual style of this movie, but going back and watching it, yeah, it was doing some kind of cool stuff with the colors. It wasn't. It has more life and brightness to it than I remember, and I think that's kind of part of the charm. After going through a period of like dark and gritty movies for a hot second.
Surprisingly, it's significantly brighter and less gritty than the comic. There's Hit Girl is not nearly as pink and bright as
not at all
in the comic. She doesn't even wear a skirt. It's not. They tried to cute her up with the belt and the skirt.
Yeah, she's definitely cuted up hard.
And the pink hair and stuff. Yeah, but as far as character wise goes, other than the looks, she is the 100% the same character in the movie. Well, I wouldn't say 100%. She's a little. Her and Big Daddy, it's a little more complicated in the comics. Basically, like, Big Daddy's origin story is revealed to be a lie in the comics, and all basically, instead of being like an ex-cop, or like, in the comics he gives this origin of, like, basically it's like Frank Castle. It's he's the Punisher, right? Like
the one from the movie.
Yeah, but in the comic, at the end when he's dying, he reveals that none of it was true, and he was actually just an accountant who was kind of feeling the same way as Kick-Ass, right? He was bored with his life, and he really was a fan of comic books, and he wanted to do something really cool and give something fun to do with his daughter. And so they decided to become superheroes and stuff. So it's weird because, like, there's elements of more realism sometimes in the comic, and then there's more realism in the movie, you know, and I think the movie handled that a little, I don't know, a little more responsibly or something. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's like more Hollywood.
It's happier.
My impression of it.
Yeah, for sure.
They wanted you to have like a happy ending, and definitely the comic is not always that.
Oh, yeah. I'm always a fan though in movies. Like, if you fuck up a kid in a movie, like, down, you either show it or you don't, right? And this movie is definitely very much like, okay, Kick-Ass is gonna get beat, to an inch of his life.
Yeah,
girl's gonna get shot at. They're gonna shoot at a girl, like, it's a child.
The part that got me the most is when Tony Strong, like, roundhouse kicks her in the face.
Oh my gosh,
that was the best. Like, I totally forgot that happened. And that was really enjoyable to watch. I don't know. Like Lindsay was saying when we were watching that, like she feels if they were to have made it now, it would have been more violent with more CG. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This movie is pretty violent for back then too. Like it
I
was.
just meant like the hyper violence,
like more boys-esque.
Yeah, it just more. I thought the style would just be more like I don't know, like a bunch of computer generated violence.
You know what was computer generated?
Hmm.
That stupid jetpack. How'd you feel about the jetpack, Ricky?
For me, that's when that took me out of it and reminded me that this was a comic book movie. Does that make sense? Like everything up until that point is like for me semi plausible.
You know what sucks is I felt that people were feeling that when they were watching that movie, and the worst part about it is there is no jetpack in the comic book.
Oh,
the comic is far more realistic in that she just gives him a gun and he goes in there and tries to help, but he doesn't. But he has this weird moral code. Well, not weird. He's trying to do the Spider-Man and Batman moral code through the whole story. So he actually never kills anybody in the comics, but he does shoot the bad guy in the dick right before Mindy cuts his head off. Yeah, it's just so it was just weird for me that like it kind of like jumped the shark, right?
Yeah.
Like it was trying to be grounded in this reality with Hit Girl being really the only exception, and she's just doing like amazing things that you're like, how did a human being learn how to do all this stuff at that age? But other than her, like it's a pretty grounded movie, and then all of a sudden they're flying across New York and like I'm like, dude, that kind of sucks.
What?
Yeah, but was it giving me the Hollywood happy ending that the movie probably deserved? Sure, I guess. I don't know. Like, but yeah,
I would argue that like 2010, we probably couldn't handle like a very dark and depressing ending.
Yeah, well, it's still not depressing, but I do want to point out in the comic, Dave is also chasing the same girl, in high school, and in that show or in the comic, he is also pretending to be gay. Worse off, he's pretending to be a gay prostitute who has said, or he basically tells her, I think it's after he got the beating of his life, he tells her that he got raped, so he's a rape victim too. There's just like, this is what Mark Miller does. He just adds elements that are just unnecessary to it all. But the worst part is like he chooses at the end of the movie to tell her, that he's not gay and he's kick ass. And it goes way more as you would expect it to go. But then it goes like even further. Yeah, she is not happy about that. I think that's the other unrealistic part in the movie when they just start hooking up after that.
Oh, like yeah, no. That's just weird.
Yeah, in the movie, or I mean in the comic, she not only like insults him, she gets her boyfriend that Dave didn't know about to beat the shit out of him. And then later that night, she texts him a photo of her going down on her boyfriend. So,
oh my God,
it's just excessive, right? It's just excess. So like, yeah. So I think it's kind of interesting to see where Mark Miller and Matthew Vaughn differ in that, like, Matthew Vaughn is way more into. I was blaming it on Mark Miller, but then I started realizing like Mark Miller actually prefers to play with the effed up outcomes that would really occur, and Matt Vaughn likes to actually do these fun wish fulfillment kind of scenarios. So like, he's imagining, man, if I was in high school, what if I was able to get the hottest girl in high school? Like wouldn't that be cool? And that reminds me so much of Kingsman, right? Where like when he's gonna rescue
like
that
wish fulfillment, the movie. That's all that is.
Yeah, when the princess is like, like, oh, if you rescue me, I'll let you, F me in the A. And you're like, where did that come from? Like that's a bold promise you're making there. And then even crazier, she fulfills that promise at the end of the movie, and you're like, okay, I didn't know that I needed that, but it's cool.
I
But
guess I did.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Matthew Vaughn.
yeah, so like I was when I was watching the movie originally, I was blaming Mark Miller for that. But now that I know that Mark Miller didn't write that, and it was probably actually Matt Vaughn, I'm like, okay, I see that more. I see the differences here. So, but yeah, no, I think I really still enjoyed this movie, and I do agree with you that Nick Cage actually he added a lot to this character. I mean, his whole nod to Adam West through the whole movie is just so hilarious. You got
But
that, right?
yeah, but it's. I don't know if Adam West was doing like the voice he does when he's Big Daddy. It's very like stop, start, stop, different kind of cadence.
No, he was
No, that
100% doing Adam West.
Yeah,
No,
that
but
was-
what I'm saying, like, was Adam West doing that because he's Adam West, or was Adam West doing that because that's part of like the character of Batman?
Oh, that was Adam West's choice for how to do Batman.
Okay.
And I'm saying Nick Cage was choosing to homage Adam West Batman. You know what I mean? Like that's
Mhm.
that was a choice he's making, and it just made Big Daddy a more charming character, right? Like he's like I actually felt for him. Like when he was dying, I felt that one. I was like, oh.
I like up until this point, I don't think people they show it, but like when he's in the bathroom putting the makeup on his eyes and the mustache, like that really kind of hit home for me. Like
For me, that was like Nick Cage living a fantasy. Right
like he
there.
knows they get it.
They know what they know what it means to be a Batman, and I thought that was really cool. I think it's funny that he chose to have a handlebar mustache when he goes out and fight crime. Like
Mhm.
crime. That's a choice. It's a choice, but okay, cool. I get it. But yeah, no,
trying to hide his identity more, right?
yeah, he's trying to throw people off from it. Yeah, for sure. But no, I absolutely loved Nick Cage in this movie, and I kind of even forgave him for these horrible things that he put his daughter through. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah, he's a terrible father.
He's a terrible father, right? But like in her eyes, you can't convince her that ever. You know, like she loved him all the way through, and so that's why, like, when I was saying let's talk about Hit Girl, like Chloe Grace Moretz kills it so hard in this
her
movie.
first movie.
I think
it might have
I
been.
think it either was or it was just like the first one that people really paid attention to her.
You tell me.
Okay, yeah, okay. She went from this to Let Me In, which is also amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing in that too.
To Carrie,
I never watched Carrie,
but she had a good run there.
Yeah, no, she's great in this movie.
God, Let Me In. That was my first Comic-Con. Was the Kick-Ass or was Let Me In?
Oh yeah,
really?
That's a good movie. I like that movie a lot.
Those movies came out the same year. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, she I mean, she deserved all the success she got after this movie for sure. Because like, I think she's a scene stealer. I think she made this movie like she made me more satisfied for having read the comic than being upset at the differences. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, they got her so good, and she's really like the thing that's she's the one thing that's really making you say like, man, I mean, as cool as it would be to be a superhero, like it's pretty crazy if you're not prepared like this girl is prepared, what chance do you really have? And I think I think that's what Dave's purpose is to show you like how grossly unprepared he was, and how he barely survives by the skin of his teeth through that whole movie. And it's only because of Mindy and Big Daddy that he even survives ever, you know? So like the whole IP thing, like we traced your MySpace, the IP and everything like that. Oh, I didn't even think about that, you know, like that, all that stuff was hilarious to me. Was MySpace really 2010?
I remember I didn't get a Facebook till probably 2010. I was in high school when I got a Facebook finally.
That's crazy. That's so funny, man. Yeah. What was
Yeah,
your
that
favorite?
was also weird.
Yeah, what was your favorite thing about this movie? Just curious.
I think it was that it's like it's all I could forgive all of Kick-Ass's dumb mistakes because he's a kid. And I think that angle really worked a lot for this movie, and rewatching it again really reminds me, like, yeah, I was dumb as hell back then, and if I were to try this, everything that he did wrong is something I would absolutely do, just being oblivious.
Yeah,
But there was a sense of like, yeah, there was a good sense of, I think the weight of what's actually going on is not lost on him. Like he realizes he's like way in over his head, 100%.
Yeah. What about you, Lindsay?
My favorite thing about the movie was question.
Yeah.
I would say I don't know. I guess kind of just like a little bit of the takedown of the superhero myth or wish and like what that might mean for people. I thought it was like really interesting at the time. There wasn't that much media out there doing that was in mainstream.
I mean, this is like pre-Boys, really, right?
Was it pre-Super?
No.
There's Watchmen, of course. Like Watchmen was more this, but it wasn't as like mainstream at the time and it's accessible. So
I think it is pre-Super actually. I think it is because Super is the one that I look to as like this is the one that really got it. Like, oh, you know what? They're the same freaking year. They're the same year. They both came out in the same year. So I don't know which one actually hit theaters first, but I know I didn't watch Super until maybe like a year after, or like when it was on video or whatever, you know. I probably watched it on Netflix DVD in the mail or something like that.
I forgot, but Chloe Grace Moretz is also in Big Mama's House too.
Oh my God.
The best of the Big Mama movies.
I wouldn't know what to tell you about that one.
We should bring those back, like that genre of comedy.
We should bring those back.
Circle back, Nutty Professor, Big Mama's House.
You let me know when you want to watch Super because I prefer that one to Kick-Ass. That movie is nuts.
Well, the reason for I want to watch Kick-Ass, aside from remember enjoying it and still enjoying it, I've never seen Kick-Ass 2. I've seen clips.
Oh, you've never seen it?
I've always wanted to watch. I don't know why I never saw it in theaters and just haven't picked it up since. But the Jim Carrey angle of it all is something that's been itching at my bones that I want to see.
Okay. I don't think I don't think Kick-Ass 2 is a better movie. Probably why we never got more movies. The other reason might be because Chloe Grace Moretz just kept getting older. And it just kind of breaks the whole thing, right? Because in the comic, she keeps continuing to be 10. And so it's still fun. It's funnier when a 10-year-old girl is doing all this crazy murder. You know, when it's like a 17-year-old girl, you're just like
it's like Shazam, the Shazam problem.
Yeah, it's the Shazam problem for sure. So yeah, it's that. But I'd be down. I'd almost say, can we watch Super first before we watch Kick-Ass?
Yeah, we can watch Super first. Do we want to watch Super next? That's the question.
Well, I think the next thing we're going to talk about when we come back to the show after Comic-Con is Deadpool Wolverine, right?
The big show.
That's going to be the review that we'll be giving you guys. So look forward to that. We will be doing some sort of coverage of Comic-Con in live when we're there. So be on the lookout for that if you happen to be paying attention to us. But yeah, I have no problem with, in a couple weeks, we go and watch Super, and then maybe a week after that, we can consider doing Kick-Ass 2, or we can hit up our friends, at Cosmic Comic History and see if they want to do the second installment of Justice League Crisis on Infinite.
Well, the third's out now.
I know the second one is free now on Max. So after the first one, I'm less inclined to want to pay for those movies. All right.
People don't like the third movie. So
I have seen some people pretty upset about that third movie. The one cool thing that I have have only come to realize now that it is interesting about this is I didn't really realize what this trilogy of movies is, and it's meant to be a bookend to the entire animated universe that comes before James Gunn's new animated universe. You know what I mean? That's
one way to look at it.
It's meant to be a final celebration of all the things they've ever done in animation that predate James Gunn's new universe, which is awkwardly still not including the Harley Quinn show, which will keep running, I guess. Because James Gunn said that, right? That from now on, all animated, all video games, and all movies,
they're pulling a Star Wars where
they're all
everything starting with. Well, apparently we're starting with Blue Beetle.
But then
everything starting with
because Kite Man's not, right? Like, and then.
Well, they're doing a Blue Beetle animated show. You know that, right?
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. But what I'm saying is like Kite Man and Harley
Creature
Quinn
Commandos and on is going to be the DCU
animated. DC animated.
Well, the Creature Commandos is going to. What's his name? Frank Grillo is voicing Rick Flag Sr. in that cartoon,
right?
And he's reprising his role in Peacemaker 2.
Yes,
season 2, and he's also reprising his role, the same character in Superman. So they're all connected. They're all connected.
So Peacemaker still exists in the new universe, even though he predates the universe.
Yes, it's weird.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll learn to enjoy it. I'm excited for Superman. I'm excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm excited to talk Super in a few weeks. That movie's hella inappropriate, much like some of the trivia we played today. So I look forward to it. By the way, Ricky, since we didn't get to talk about any of the things, The Boys and The Acolyte both ended this week. One was really good and one was not. I'll let you decide on which one it was.
I saw one of them. Actually, I saw both. I did watch both. Finally.
Oh, you're finally caught up on. Or you're not caught up on The Acolyte, right?
I watched the last episode of The Acolyte.
That's good. That's fine.
I kind of liked it.
Oh, well, yeah, that's really interesting. If you just skip to the last episode, I can.
The Boys is. There's a whole dialogue we can talk about that show in light of recent events, but I'm happy. I can't wait for more Boys. I can't wait for the panel next week.
Do they have a panel at Hall H?
Yes, on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gosh.
I didn't see that on the schedule. I wasn't looking closely enough, I guess. So interesting. All right, cool. Well, I look forward to seeing you next week at Comic-Con, and I look forward to all the nerding out we're going to do. Thank you, Lindsay, for your wonderful art that you kept us enjoying while we were talking about Hey Girl and Big Daddy.
I like her teeth.
Thanks. I almost finished it. Close. Okay. Now she's done. Woo! Yay!
Nice.
She's done now.
Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed your games that we gave you.
I did. I love them.
I hope you enjoyed our special Lindsay birthday episode of the show. And we appreciate all the feedback you give us on the show all the time. And I don't got anything else. Ricky, what do you got?
I think I'm good. We have a big week ahead of us, and I can't wait to see you both in a few days.
All right. Cool.
With that, true believers, enough said.